Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, the tarot I'm going to use, Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. At the bottom here you can see the website llewellyn.com and a couple other social media links. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you need more time to absorb that if you're interested. The Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. There's some information on the back here. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out. There's a website. I'm pretty sure there's websites down here if you need to see them a little closer. There's more. There's ColetteBaronReed.com at the end of that paragraph with her picture next to it. I believe there's a HayHouseRadio.com there, and you could go to HayHouse.com as well if you look up Hay House. A couple other websites at the bottom. There's also about the illustrator, Jenna. There's Jenna's full name. And I believe at the bottom here there's some websites that are geared towards her. Okay, so that's the Oracle cards. And last but not least, the dice. I got different dice now. Can I use the back of this maybe? No, I don't think that's going to work. Well, hopefully this is one of the dice, the 14-sided dice I got for part of it. I'll have to explain that in a second. mathartfun.com. And the bigger dice, the 21-sided dice, this is where that came from. Tom Anders, and then there's a website there. There's a QR code I'll show you in a second if you're interested in this, in case that is of benefit to you. I used the 21. This is going to be the 21-sided dice for the major arcana. It is missing 0 for the Fool, but still I make it work. And the other one is the 14-sided dice, which I use from 1 to King, King being the 14th. Number 14, so as it goes up, 10, 11 would be Page, 12 is Knight, 13 Queen, 14 King, if you're interested to know that. Alright, and with that being said, if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And now, on to your read. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? That's all right. So far, good energy. I'm questioning it because I feel like I have a full moon thing going on here. But so something around the full moon. Either it started or it's going to upswing. There's something going on with this. Already, I'm like, where are we going? Where are we going? I keep getting full moon like references. Like, you got the Ace of Cups here. Whatever this is very important to you, and you seem to love it. But I keep getting like full moon references, like chaotic energy, a lot of potential energy that could go somewhere good. But in the sense of, like, is it going where you want it to go is the question. You seem to have something stabilized. It's not like, I don't think you have control of it in the sense of, like, control of others. This could easily be, like, a work situation or work-related, like, coworkers things. Because there's something here where there's this uncontrollable element of just random moving forward. A lot gets done, but I'm like, I don't know what's going to get done next. It's kind of like if I had like a farm, like an old farm that somebody's fixing up. If Capricorn was going to fix up the farm, you'd have a plan. You'd have like, this gets done first, that gets done second, this is what we're going to take care of. You would have things in order, in a certain order that it had to be done. Typically that's a Capricorn thing. This energy is like going from one to the next, sometimes in the barn, sometimes in the house, sometimes out in the field, sometimes fixing the fence, sometimes taking care of the driveway. They're just, you never know where they're going to be working on something. They do keep progressing, things keep progressing forward, but it's kind of like, this isn't going to my plan. It's like, it's good, but it's like, I don't know where it's going to be next. And it could be a little bit aggravating. This might be one of those things where it's kind of like, you might choose, like, listen, I'll do all the barn stuff. You can do whatever else you want. Just, you might be like, listen, just leave the barn stuff alone. I'll do all the barn stuff. You can do what you want with everything else. When I get done with the barn, I'll decide what I'm going to do next, and we'll deal with that when we come to it. Because I feel like you have kind of control of this situation in the sense of, like, this is mine. Stay out of my stuff. Stay out of my stuff. I understand you're going to be all over the place, but be all over the place outside of my stuff. I'm going to do this. This is me. Leave me alone. I'll handle this. You go handle other things. There's this chaotic energy with this. And you got the King of Wands with the Star card. Sometimes the Star card talks about Aquarius. I sometimes read the King of Fire, sometimes the Queen of Fire too, but as Leo sometimes. It depends. It could be a fire sign, but these are like, I keep getting opposites. And usually when the moon is full, it's in opposites. Like the sun is in one sign, the moon is in the opposite sign, in case that makes any difference to anybody. You seem to have it under control. You seem to have it stabilized. You seem to be okay with it right now, but I see you also looking at it in the sense of, like, as long as I keep my eye on it, I can't just, like, ignore what the other person's doing. I know they're all over the place out there. I'm doing the barn, and they're all over the rest of the farm, the house, the driveway, the whatever you got going on out there. I feel like I have to keep my eye on them. Every now and then I have to spot check and try to keep an eye on what they're doing or where they're working now. I'm not going to go through and get too detailed on it because it's going to take away from what I need to do. But I kind of have to keep like a sort of like, okay, they're working in something in the house. Okay, that's happening. They're over there with the fence again. Okay, yeah, but back in that, nope, no, where did they go? Oh, they're in the field. Okay, that's where they're working on the driveway. Okay, that's fine. I feel like I just got to keep my eye on it, and I gotta keep myself a little detached from it. Whoever this person is that you're working with, they do seem to be needing your assistance sometime soon. The two of these is kind of like, they're not really that advanced with the situation they're asking you for help with, but they need you to kind of help stabilize it so it can go further. It's almost like, there's a fence here. Maybe the farm next door has something in that pasture that you don't want on your farm. I don't know what. But, like, say they keep bulls in that farm. I don't think you can keep a bunch of bulls together, but, just maybe there's just a bull in that one thing, whatever. You don't want it on your side because you're like, I want to deal with that. So they're like, I don't know how to fix this fence. It's maybe it's a mile long, maybe it's half a mile long, I don't know. But they're like, I can't fix it by myself and make sure it actually holds up to keep that animal on that side of the fence. I need your help to do it. And it's kind of like, well, all right, well, let me assess it, and then we can go through it. But you have to go by my plan. You have to do it the way I want it to be done. I'll help you as long as you do it my way. So we'll go through it. I'll decide what we need to do first, and then you do what I want. As long as you do it my way, we can do this. I feel like that's something we're going to try to do. And I feel like at first I like that they're asking me for help, and I'm trying to work with them. I'm trying to make it work in the sense of, like, all right, they're going to be who they are. But, there's certain things that if you want my help, we have to do it this way because this is how I do things. It doesn't seem to work well, but it works okay. They are still random. I think they're sticking with your plan, but they're also doing other things at the same time, which seems to be a conflict. So it's like so for fixing this fence, you have step 1 through 10. They don't jump ahead or jump around with those steps, but like you're doing step 1, they help you a little bit, then they go off and do something else, and they're like, it's like you're supposed to be helping me, so you have to call them back. They help you. You move on to step 2. Maybe they're fine for step 2, but then all of a sudden they're gone. You're ready to start step 3, and you're like, where are you? I got to do this. I got to do this other thing in the driveway. And you're like, no, you don't. You have to help me because this was the rules. And I feel like there's some conflict with that. What they're saying to not do is you seem to have a choice of two things to not do that will not make the situation better for you. To just kind of like walk away from it and be like, all right, fine. You fix the fence yourself. You don't want to work with me. You're just messing up the thing. Forget it. I'll just walk away. You can do your own stuff. Because I feel like you might get that aggravated. They're also saying don't do it on your own. Don't just keep powering through till it's done and be like, listen, the fence is done. I just, whatever. Don't do that either. What they're saying to do for this to work better for you, okay. Hold them to what they said they were going to do. Try to do it with love, because that's the Knight of Cups. Realize this only is going to work for so long. So, like, it's just, it can work for this situation. The Phoenix is like that's an entity that kind of starts very small, burns bright, and then it burns its brightest before it burns out and crashes to the earth. So this has it's got a shelf life for sure. It can be great, but hold them to it. Encourage them in a positive way as much as you can. Try to be as positive as you can, but hold them to it. If you can, put all the focus on, for example, if you're working on this fence, all the focus, like you tell them, you keep them, in text, in ear text or whatever. I'm focusing all my energy on this to get this done. You need to too. So if I show up, you show up. And you just hold it to them. Like, I'll be there, you be there. Like, otherwise we're going to have problems. Just kind of like keep pushing them to do it. Hold to your, step by step, all the way till you get through step 10. Hold them to it. Make them do it. Hold them to it, make them do it. I don't know why we had to rhyme it, but there you go. This works out best. Once it's done, then that's that. And remind them. Like, next time they want your help, say, listen, it was too much. You're too difficult to keep under control for the way I want to do things. And, I'm not going to do it that way again. If you need somebody's help, you need to at least try to find somebody else's help, or I'll give you a plan, but you're going to have to do that plan on yourself, by yourself, because I'm not going to help you next time. You're too much of a struggle. Okay. There's a little more here. How is this over here coming in? Empress with the 9 of Swords. Somebody else also wants you to help this random energy. Push it back on them. Tell them that they're going to have to help them. Next, I tried. I made sure it worked out. I held to it. I made them hold to it, which I didn't really want to do, but we're just say maybe if this goes that way. But that's it. I'm done. If they need help, you need to help them or find somebody else. I'll give the plan. In fact, I'll help you make the plan. If you want to help them, you can deal with that. I'll help you make the plan, but that's as far as I'm going. I'm not going through that again. Okay. That seems fair if this goes that way. There's some discontent here. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of hard feelings after this. Not in that, I don't feel grudgy, but in the sense of why can't you just do what you said you were supposed to do? Like them. I feel like you might have that feeling towards them. Like, you said you were going to, then you didn't. And it's just kind of going to get under your skin a little bit. It's not the worst thing. I don't feel like they mean to be like that. That's just their natural energy. Going forward, I feel you're not going to be able to forget this, is what I'm getting. However this plays out, I just don't feel like you're going to be able to forget this. They're not really. I feel like they're trying to talk to it in the sense of they're really not that bad. It's just how they run life. It's just contrary to yours. Hopefully, it doesn't hold to you too strongly. I don't think this person is meaning to insult you, but I think they are by the way they're handling things. It's it's an insult. It feels like an insult. That's not their goal to insult you, but you're going to feel insulted is what I'm getting. The advice is also to rationalize this out with somebody else. Let somebody else take care of this. This is just not for you, whatever this person is. They're not your flavor. I don't think we have to have any negative feelings afterwards, but they're saying if you can afterwards, help somebody else help them, and try to keep a little bit of an arm's distance. Try not to help them directly, maybe indirectly. Strategize with other people. Give other people that benefit of the doubt, kind of well, this is what I would do. I'm not going to do it though. I'll tell you, you could do it if you want to. It's kind of I'll give the advice, I'll advise to a point, but I'm not going to get myself into that quagmire again. Other people, they can't seem to do the same things you do as well as you do them, but it's kind of like, listen, there's only so much I'm going to do. You know? So for example, if we were going to look at that fence analogy again, maybe like if that was happening again in the future, kind of like, I'm not going to go through this fence with this person again. I will tell you how I'll go through it, or I'll walk through it with you and tell you how I think it should be done and all the steps. Over to the side, if you need 20 something posts, and maybe you could make the post just for argument's sake, I will get those 20 posts to you by this day, and I'll make sure they're the right quality, but I'll leave them for you, and you can go help the Queen of Fire, or that fire energy. I didn't see the Queen of Fire, but you can help that random energy the way you want to. I'll get you the supplies, I'll put together what I think you should use, and I'll put it over here, but it's on you to use it with that person, and you can sort that out with them, and you can make that fence happen with them. I'm not going to physically do the fence, other than I'm willing to make these posts for you and put them here. You can use those 20, 25 posts however you need to. That's the advice. I hope that makes sense. I feel like the energy is also saying, if you can kind of step back from this and realize that this energy is not trying to insult you, it's just the way they work. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying you don't want it to like hold you back. It can move this thing a lot easier. I'm more of a fan of the Paul McKenna book, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. It is geared towards romantic things, but it doesn't have to be. I've used it for business. I've used it for personal. I've used it for any type of thing. Like, you can use those. You can adapt those teachings any way you need to. It may help you kind of like keep it in check, in the sense of like, this is how I feel about it. I'm just not applying the emotion to it anymore. So that way, like, nope, I know how I feel. I'm just not charged with it anymore. I'm not worried about it anymore. I just know I'm going to handle it the way I'm going to handle it, and that's how it is. Because it's kind of like, I keep getting it over and over. It's more than likely going to insult you for good reason. It's detaching from that and realizing they are who they are, and I don't have to be tied to that emotion. I just can see them for who they are and be like, all right, that's how they work. I'm just going to advise through other people, and then I'm going to, that's it. That's it, because they're going to drive me mad. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.